सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति नैष्ठिकी. So continuing with the discussion on nectar of instruction, today we are starting new verse, text number 9. So like we said for text number 8, that was part of Raga Nuga Bhakti. Now this 9, 10, 11, they're part of Bhav Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. And all three verses are about Radha Kund. So important Radha Kund is. Vaikuntha Janito Vara Madhupuri Tatrapi Rasot Swan Brindaranyamudara Pane Ramana Tatrapi Govardhana Radha Kundamihapi Gokulapate Premamrita Lavanat Kuryadasya Virajato Giritate Sevam Vivekinakaha. The holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha. It's so important. Mathura, spiritually superior to Vaikuntha, the transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Even the Mathura, even though it's in material world, although it's never in part of material world, but still it's in the material world. But this Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha, because the Lord appears there. Lord does not perform his taking birth pastimes in spiritual world. He does only in the material world. So that's why Mathura is spiritually superior. Superior to Mathura Puri is a transcendental forest of Vrindavan because of Krishna's Ras Leela pastimes. So Vrindavan is even better than Mathura. Superior, not better, superior. And superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill. Why? For it was raised by the divine hand of Shri Krishna and was the site of his various loving pastimes. So Raslila pastimes he performed in Vrindavan. He also does that in Govardhan also, but Govardhan is a site for various other loving pastimes, and also Govardhan was held by Krishna. And above all, the super excellent Sri Radha Kund stands supreme, for it is overflooded with the ambrosial nectarian prema of the Lord of Gokul, Sri Krishna. So although Radha Kund, Shyam Kund are part of Govardhan, but still, so Mathura is superior to Vaikuntha. Vrindavan is superior to Mathura. Govardhan is superior to Vrindavan. And Radha Kund is even superior to Govardhan. Why? Because it is overflooded with the ambrosial nectarian prema of the Lord of Gokul, Sri Krishna. So that is a position of Radha Kund. Where then is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine Radha Kund, which is situated at the foot of Govardhan Hill? Well, here Rupa Goswami says, situated at the foot of Govardhan Hill, Giri Tate. But actually Radha Kund and Shyam Kund are called two eyes of Govardhan. So Giri Tate means at the banks of, or at the foot of Govardhan Hill, as Prabhupada translated it. So in the Purport, Prabhupada says, the spiritual world is 3/4 of the total creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it's a most exalted region. So sometimes we read this Tripad Vibhuti. Tripad Vibhuti means, so 3 feet, 3 parts. So 3 parts is spiritual world and 1 part is material of the whole creation. Of course, this is just for us to understand, otherwise spiritual world is always increasing. There's no limit to that. The spiritual world is naturally superior to the material. However, Mathura and the adjoining areas, although appearing in the material world, are considered superior to the spiritual world because the Supreme Personality of God had himself appeared at Mathura. Although he just appeared and then he just left for Gokul, but because he appeared in Mathura, is considered very, very uh, spiritually very exalted place, very powerful, very beneficial. The interior forests of Vrindavan are considered superior to Mathura because of the presence of the 12 forests, Dwadash one. So, interior forests of Vrindavan. So, as I said earlier, earlier Vrindavan was considered the whole, Brajmandal was called Vrindavan. Vrinda Devi is Tulsi Maharani and she is in charge. She's in charge of the services in Vrindavan. So that's why whole Braj is also called Vrindavan. But now we know Vrindavan as a little village, or it's not village anymore. That part. But the whole Braj is also called Vrindavan. So Vrinda Devi is in charge of the services in Vrindavan. But Radharani is considered Vrindavaneshwari. She is a Ishwari. She is a controller of whole Vrindavan, whole Braj. And Vrindavan is considered superior because of the presence of the 12 forests, Dwadashwan, such as Talvan, Madhuvan, and Bahulavan. But there are so many, 12 forests are there. Bhandirvan is there, and so many others, which are famous for the various pastimes of the Lord. So, we know so many pastimes, there are unlimited pastimes, and so many pastimes we study in the scriptures, so many pastimes we don't study, so many are still going on that we cannot see because we are not, we don't have those eyes yet. Thus, the interior Vrindavan forest is considered superior to Mathura. Mathura, Krishna just appeared, but interior forest of Vrindavan, Krishna performed so many loving pastimes. But superior to these forests is the divine Govardhan Hill, because Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill like an umbrella, raising it with his lotus-like beautiful hand to protect his associates, the denizens of Vraja, from the torrential rain sent by the angry Indra, king of the demigods. So we studied that Govardhan, lifting of Govardhan Hill pastime. It's also at Govardhan Hill. Now, again, why Govardhan Hill is so important? That Krishna tends the cows with his cowherd friends. And there also he had his rendezvous with his most beloved, Sri Radha, and engaged in loving pastimes with her. So every day, actually, noontime, around noontime, they meet at Govardhan. Early morning at Vrindakund near Nandagaon, around noon, Govardhan, and in the evening or at night at Yamuna, every day. Radha Kund at the foot of Govardhan is superior to all because it is there that love of Krishna overflows. Advanced devotees prefer to reside at Radhakund because this place is a site of many memories of the eternal loving affairs between Krishna and Radharani, which is called Rati Vilas. Vilas means the pastimes, Rati means the loving, so loving pastimes. This is a place. And we all know how Radhakund, Shyamkund appeared. We studied that in Bhagavatam. So this Asur, Arishtasur, sent by Kansa, he came, he came in the around noontime, because that is when Krishna and Radharani and Gopis, they would come and meet over there. And Krishna killed Arishtasura. But then all Radharani and the Gopis told him, oh, you killed a bull, so we are not going to associate with you. So you had to purify yourselves. go to the tirthas all over the universe, not just all over India or all over Braj, go all over the universe and take bath and purify yourselves, otherwise we'll not be better. And Krishna said, that was a demon. I killed a demon. They said, doesn't matter. He was a bull. Bull is bull represents religion, and you killed the bull. Krishna thought, okay, but it will take too long to go all over. So why not call all the tirthas here? So there was some, because of the Arishtasura's feet, or whatever it's called, some impressions were there, and it was a big bull. So Krishna just put his flute down and made a little bit more pond, and he called all the tirthas from all over the universe to come to his kunda. So that kund, then it was filled with all the tirthas, and all the tirthas, when they were coming, they were praying, they were folding hands, and they were introducing themselves. I am Prayagraj, and I am Ganga, I am Yamuna, I am Godavari, I am Saraswati, everybody. So Krishna took bath. And he said, he told the gopis, now I'm purified because I have taken bath. All the tirthas are here, you saw that. But now you have become impure because you took side with that demon against me. So if you want me to associate with you, you have to be purified. Okay. Krishna said, well, the water in my kunda is there, Sham kunda, it's there, so you can take bath there. They said, no, because you took bath there and you have left all your sins in that kund, we're not going to take bath there. Okay. So Radharani and all the gopis, they took out their kangan and they started digging not too far from Sham kunda, right next to them. They started digging over there, and a little Kangan Kund was formed. Krishna said, now where are you going to get the water from? Take water from my kund. No. Your kund is all dirty. We don't want water. So we're going to get the water from. So all the gopis lined up all the way to Manasi Ganga. And they had the parts, so they were passing, filling up parts in Manasi Ganga, and they're passing one gopi to another. And finally the water was coming to Kangan Kund, and Radharani was there, and she was dumping the water in Kangan Kund. Now all the tirthas, they came to Krishna, say, Krishna, what is this? We are here, we served you, we also want to serve Radharani. Please do something. Krishna said, okay, you go and plead to her. So led by Prayagraj, they all went to Radharani, begged, please allow us to serve you. Please allow us some space in your kund. So Radharani, being so merciful, she allowed them. And so the banks of Sham Kund broke open, and the water from Sham Kund came to Radha Kund. So that bank is, you can see behind me, that's called Sangam. So Radharani took bath in her kunda, and all the gopis took bath. And then Krishna took bath in Radha Kund, and he proclaimed, anybody who takes bath in this kunda will get my prema. And that's why it is said, this kund is flooded, over-flooded, not just flooded, over-flooded with love for Krishna. But then Radharani and gopis, they took bath in Sham Kund, and they said, anybody who takes bath in Sham Kund will get my prema, Radha prema. And that is why actually all of our acharyas, the samadhis or bhajan stalis are around Radha Kund, not around Sham. Only Raghunath Das Goswami had his bhajan kutir at Sham Kund, but his samadhi is at Radha Kund. So later on, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's in the second paragraph here. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, it is stated that when Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first visited the area of Brajbhumi, he could not at first find the location of Radha Kund. This means that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually searching for the exact location of Radha. Finally, he found the holy spot, and there was a small pond there. Actually, there was a rice field, and then in the middle of rice field, there were two little ponds. One was Radhakund, one was Shah. And when he took bath, he took his bath in that small pond and told his devotees that the actual Radhakund was situated here. Because by taking bath in Radhakund, he got the ecstasy. We go do bhajan, take darshan, achman, water, there's no ecstasy, nothing. Mahaprabhu. So this is, we have to get purified, that's all. So later the pond was excavated by Lord Chaitanya's devotees, headed first by the six Goswamis such as Rupa and Raghunath Das. So as I said, Raghunath Das Goswami, when he came from Jagannath Puri, I think after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu unmanifested his pastimes. So he came to Vrindavan, and he firstly wanted to go on the Govardhan and jump from there and commit suicide, because he said it's not worth living without Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being here. But then Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, they stopped him. They said, no, you have to tell the world about the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then he stayed back, and he was doing his bhajan there at the banks of Radhakund. And then one day he had the desire, or there was an inspiration by Krishna himself, because earlier the Kangan Kund and Sham Kund, they were small. In material sense, they were small kundas, maybe about 3 meter by 3 meter each. So he got this inspiration that these kundas should be made bigger. But then he thought, what is this? I'm here to do my bhajan and I'm thinking of construction and this and that. I don't want to get into it. But then few days later, a rich man came to see him. And that rich man actually had gone to Badrinath and to do some donation there, to give some donations there. But Lord Badrinath told him, no, you go to Govardhan, and Govardhan, near the banks of Radhakund, there is a devotee named Raghunath Das Goswami. He is doing his bhajan. You go give him this money. He needs the money. So, following his orders, this wealthy man came to Govardhan. Somehow he found Raghunath Das Goswami, and he said, this is the money, and Lord Badrinath has sent it to you for your project. So then Raghunath Das Goswami understood, okay, Krishna wants this to happen. So he bought that piece of, he bought Radhakund and the land around it, around Radhakund and Shamkund. And that land is, it says, still registered in the name of Jiva Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami said, I don't want anything in my name. So it's registered in the name of Jiva Goswami. So he expanded Radhakund and Shamkund. And while first he did the expansion of Radhakund and perfect square, nicely done. And when he was going to start expanding, digging around Shamkund, make it bigger, then the 5 Pandavas came to his dream that night. He said, no, Baba Raghunath Das Goswami, we are doing our tapasya at the banks of Shamkund. So please, in the form of a tree, so please don't cut us down in your expansion, please. And there were other places, they also said, please don't disturb us. So that's when he expanded Shamkund. It's not a square, it's very, not a single straight line, is it actually? Of course, the Brajvasis say Radharani is very straight, simple girl, so her kund is also straight, and Krishna is bent at 3 places, and he's very clever, very shrewd. So his kund is also not straight at all. He's not at all straight, and his kund is also not straight. So, but anyway, this is the bhav for Radha Kund and Shyam Kund. And actually these places, those two kundas, they're so amazing. Sometimes we see milk coming out of Radhakund, Shyam, because all the tirthas, their water is there. Even in we cannot see how it comes out. Like few years ago, UP government, they ordered the cleansing of Radhakund and Shyamkund and cleansing of all the steps. So they first they emptied the Kund, the contractor, they took the water and put it in Lalita Kund. They had put lots of big pipes and pumps. And then we saw this Kangan Kund and Little Shyam Kund original in the middle. And the contractor tried to empty those kunds out, but he could not. All the big pumps were running and they could not. Nobody knows how deep those kunds are. And then, and this I have seen myself, sitting there at the banks, you can see there's so little fountains are there under, and the water is coming out from there. Even though a contractor didn't fill out those ponds, they filled out by themselves. Because all the water from all over theaters are there, and still they can come. One can say, or those who don't have faith, they can say, oh, where is the pipeline coming from? All the capacity. It doesn't have to come through pipeline. It's a big deal. Why can't it come on its own? And so this milk that sometimes it comes from this Ksheer Sagar. Sometimes extra milk comes from Ksheer Sagar, so it becomes white, completely white. And it is said that there is water of 64 crore tirthas in Radhakund and Shyamkund from all over the universe. This is how powerful that place is. And on top of it, the water comes, but then it stops. Like there's a valve system, about 2 or 3 steps from the top, it just stops there. It doesn't go beyond that. Otherwise, if you can you imagine if 5,000 years ago the kundas were found, and the water, if it still keeps on coming, okay, even if we say 500 years ago when Raghunath Das Goswami expanded. So if the water was still coming, it would have overflooded the whole world actually. So much of water, who could have stopped it? But it stops on its own. It comes up to a certain distance and that's a certain height, that's it, stops. And this is what Rupa Goswami is saying. Srila Rupa Goswami has given much stress to Radhakund because of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire to find it. Who then would give up Radhakund and try to reside elsewhere? No person with transcendental intelligence would do so. And this is by Radharani's mercy, mercy of Prabhupada, Krishna, Brajvasi, and hard work of Ashok Prabhuji. Now we have some piece of land, not too far from Radhakund, because we are not qualified to live right at Radhakund. So she has kept us little far, so working on it. And maybe by Radharani's mercy, we'll have some place to stay over there. Not too many years from now. The importance of Radhakund, however, cannot be realized by other Vaishnava sampradayas, nor can persons uninterested in the devotional service of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understand the spiritual importance and divine nature of Radhakund. Thus, Radhakund is mainly worshipped by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the followers of Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So understanding that Radhakund and Shyamkund are so pure, Krishna and Radharani, it is said, gopis, every day they take bath in Shyamkund, and similarly Krishna and Gopas, every day they take bath in Radhakund. So the water is overflooded with Krishna Prema and Radha Prema. So we should not put, that's why we don't put our feet in Radhakund's water or Shyamkund water. So we go Take some water, sprinkle on her head, take some achman, that's it. We see many Brajvasis doing. They can do whatever they are. They're very pure, they're way above us. But we don't put our feet in Radhakund water. But even sitting on the banks of Radhakund on those steps and chanting and doing some Krishna Katha, there's nothing comparison to that, nothing. So anyway, thus ends the purport of this verse. We'll stop here. So anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, when we went to Vrindavan Yatra last year, the last spot which we have seen in the evening, on front, I think that was
You're getting disconnected. Yeah, not audible.
Spot we have seen in Vrindavan, roof and
Your connection is not clear.
okay, one sec. Is it better, Prabhuji?
Oh yeah, much better.
Okay, so I was asking that last year when we went to Vrindavan tour, in that the last spot which we have seen, from the rooftop, I think that was the Radha temple, and on top we have seen a kund, right? You were showing one kund is there. What was the name of it?
That was a Raval. That is the birthplace of Radharani.
Acha, that was Raval.
Yeah.
So that was called what, Prabhuji? Raval Kund.
I don't know the Kunda's name, but the place is Raval.
I think the government is forming a new kund from all the sides. They're forming new structure.
Yeah, but that is not the Radhakund. The Radhakund that mentioned here is that Govardhan.
Yeah, this one is different. Yeah. I just recalled, Prabhuji, that kund, you were talking about this Radha Kund, and then suddenly I realized that the last spot we have seen, that Raval Kund.
Yeah.
So it recall. Mesmerizing experience, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I know. Braj is like that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, brother. Okay. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.